I can't believe we did this last week.
I'm sweaty right now.
I am not.
Oh, it's just me, I guess.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You know, all these...
I was really sweaty earlier after my run, but I took a shower because, you know, I'm a human being and civilized. Welcome back to Christianity Play, where we're playing Parasite Eve, and Andy's having a great time talking about things that probably don't exist in real life.
Well, the other thing that happens in this game is, I was going to try to continue talking about what happens in the game, but just adding things that don't happen at all.
Yes.
Like the cutscene where Beefs flies around and shoots like Kamehamehas and blows up New York.
Yeah,
that's about halfway through, and then Disc 2, it takes place in Slovakia. And it's my country of the month.
Not Souvlaki.
Souvlaki. Oh, man. It takes place at the Souvlaki hut.
Oh, man.
I had lunch there a few days ago.
I totally want Souvlaki now.
Dude, I love Souvlakis.
Oh, so good.
Or as my dad calls them, Souflinkies.
Oh.
I don't know why, but it's funny.
Just gotta go get myself, like, sweet pitas.
Oh, yeah,
sweet,
okay.
delicious.
Do you like them just, like, on the stick with other things? You do like them in the pita, like sandwich form.
I
the
prefer
tzatziki sauce,
what they...
nice tomato onion.
Oh, I prefer the pita form.
Oh, yeah, you gotta have sandwich form.
Yeah,
pita,
like,
totally.
You know what? There's always a good time for the dinner where they have, like, the rice and the vegetables and, like, Souvlaki on the plate, and you're like, oh, man, this is so good.
Well,
and you're just, like, smearing the tzatziki everywhere, and
most
you're, like,
places you can just
shoveling it
get
in your goddamn face. Yeah.
Most places you can get the pita sandwich in a combo with, like, rice, potatoes, and all that.
Oh, God. See, anytime that happens, like, where I'm just, like, gonna get one sandwich, I always end up two. I always end up with 2 sandwiches.
Yeah.
Every time. Though I've, like, got, I'm very fond of falafel now.
I've never had falafel.
Oh, it's great. It's, like, deep fried chickpeas and stuff. And,
wait, is it?
Yeah, that's what falafels are.
Jesus, how many things do they make out of chickpeas?
Oh, like, freaking everything. But it's great because, like, my wife's vegetarian, so, a lot of the things I eat now don't have meat in them anymore either, but, like...
Oh, he's upset.
The thing is, like, they usually cost, like, half as much for the, like, falafel sandwich instead of, like, a Souvlaki sandwich.
Okay, did you see that key motion there?
I did not.
Daniel went like, punch, punch,
Replay!
That's his, like, I'm angry thing. Anytime he's, like, upset, he does it a lot through the game. You know what? Instead of a death counter, just have a... a counter for that. Not really, but it happens a lot.
There's no counters in this episode because...
in this series.
In this series.
You know why? Because I'm not going to die. Not once, because I'm pro. You might die if we trade off, but...
Oh, I will totally die. I don't even know how to play this game.
Okay. It's easy.
Yeah.
So, if I die later, repeatedly, just every time I die, just replay that clip of me saying, it's easy.
Oh, I will totally do that.
I won't die. It's easy.
I hope we get to a point where you can't beat something now.
The only thing...
It's gonna be so good. I'm just gonna, like, remix it. I'm gonna put it up, and I'm gonna get people to, like, auto-tune and remix this thing, and I'm gonna put it out there, and it's just gonna go on for an entire 15-minute episode of just this remix.
Like we were talking about before, the only part of this game I actually remember being hard is the final boss. After you fight her, whatever, it turns into this thing that just slowly chases you, and you just have to avoid it as you go through this, like, maze inside the
Oh, it's got, like, a
stage.
Big Mac or, like,
and if it touches,
nemesis issues.
When it touches you, you just die instantly.
Ugh.
There's a meeting. Okay.
There's a meeting! You can't go in there!
No, I'm supposed to go in there.
Don't go in there! There's a meeting!
I'm a part of the meeting.
Oh, you're a part of it. Then why didn't you say so from the first place?
I'm on the team.
You're on the team.
I'm Beefs.
I'm Beefs 41.
I am the law. I'm the answer to all crime in New York. Look at that. Look at that guy with his... What the hell color is that? Look at that with his hair and his coat. He thinks he's all that. No, shit doesn't get done in New York without Beefs 41. He's the color fat. I was talking about the guy in the bottom.
The color fat.
That's what color fat is?
I don't know.
Look, he got mad.
Oh, he's mad every time.
The reason he got mad there
is a wacky run.
Yeah, he just got mad. He took off. Oh, and in case you didn't notice, Beefs, I'm not going to call her Aya. Beefs runs around like normal, but all the NPCs move like Resident Evil tank controls, which is weird. Oh, see, she did it too just now.
Yeah.
But when you're controlling her, she doesn't do that, which is nice. I'm not one of those people who, like, hated the tank controls and, like, makes fun of them. I'm like, I'm gonna make a video where I laugh at the controls, because it's so funny that I can make an entire video out of just going, look how she moves! I saw a video of that one time, and I couldn't, 3 some number of minutes in, that's all they were doing, laughing at how the game controlled. It's not that damn funny. It's not that hard to control. But anyway.
Well, you grew up with it. I cannot control things with
I'm a year older than you.
No, but I grew up with it too. I just, like, because that was one, like, before analog sticks. Welcome to, like, forever ago. Before analog sticks, there were, like, only a couple ways to control things. And when we got to 3D, none of them worked. So we got tank controls. Because point in the right direction just did not work properly anymore. Unless, like, we were just always in, like, an isometric view or something. So, basically, when they wanted to do things that were a little bit more cinematic, and, like, the idea behind, like, Resident Evil, where it was pretty big change in, like, how we saw things, tank controls were the only way to do it, because every, I guess, stage or scene or board or whatever you want to call it, had a different camera angle. So you had to be able to tell the character which direction to move each time very cleanly to the user, which meant up was forward, back was back, like down was back, and left and right just rotated the character, which kind of made sense, except I could never get the hang of it. It's a very clunky way to do things. And it wasn't really until we got to, like, Mario 64 where they introduced the first real analog stick where, like, 3D movement actually kind of made sense for once. But that required a camera that followed around and stuff, and a lot more hardware than a lot of systems had at the time. And Mario 64, the reason why people like it so much is it changed a lot of things.
It was an awesome game.
Well, it's hella fun, but
I don't know about it if it is anymore. I honestly haven't played it. I know some people have said it does not hold up, but I haven't played it.
I don't know, man. Like, I played a lot of it on 64.
Yeah, me too.
I tried playing the DS remake when the DS came out. The graphics were a little bit improved on that, if I recall correctly. Like, they had upped it like, because the Nintendo DS, when it came out, was more powerful and less powerful than a Nintendo 64 at the same time. Like, the way things worked, it's different then. So it could run it, but they had to do things a little bit differently. So I think it looked slightly better, but ran differently. And of course, they didn't have, like, a analog stick on the original DS either. So they, do you remember the thumb loop that they'd give you on original DS?
Thumb loop?
Okay.
Well, remember, I didn't have one. I bought your old one.
I know, so you should have it.
I don't remember a thumb loop.
Okay, so on the original DS, they give you, like, a lanyard that you'd put on it to, like, keep it, so if you were a stupid child and you would drop it, it wouldn't break, even though the thing was, like, as indestructible as the Game Boy brick. Which I really wish Nintendo would return to, because, like, one of the things that was amazing about old Nintendo was that you couldn't break it. You could try. You couldn't break it. Damn thing was, like, everything they made was, like, child-proof, which was amazing. I have no idea how they managed it, but by today's standards, things tend to break a lot. Like, I went through a lot of DSs, and really kind of wish I kept the one I sold to you.
DS Lights?
Yeah, that's... But, so, the original DS, it had, like, a lanyard that went with it, and they had this little slidey bit on it. And you're supposed to put your thumb through it, and it would give you a little access point on your thumb that you could put on the screen and use it like an analog stick. Huh. That worked like shit. Nobody used it. So I don't think... that was something that went away. That was gone entirely because it was terrible. It was a bad idea. It did not work. But I saw where they were going with things. Eventually they started putting the nubs on stuff, which also pretty trashy. It's nothing like an analog stick.
Sorry, just quick plot update. Daniel's son is in Central Park for some reason, even though he's like 4. He just took off on his own. Oh, and I think his ex-wife's here too. That's why they're here. They're both here. And Evil Eve is here. That's why there's a big snake.
Oh, big snakes.
And only beasts can go in because everyone else just bursts into flames. Continue.
Oh yeah, well I was saying, like, nothing beats like an analog stick, and then people are gonna be like, PC Master Race, mouse and keyboard. Yes, it's more accurate. It was designed as a pointing device. I don't like it. I still feel like we're still trying to find that ideal control setup, you know? Like, the analog sticks doesn't quite work. There was a lot of hope when the Wii came out. It was like, man, this could finally be it. This could be the replacement for the mouse and keyboard on consoles. Oh, God, why doesn't it work properly? You know, maybe in 15 years, you know, I don't know. Like, we're going back 15 years, and this is what games looked like 15 years ago. And how completely different, like, we'll put this in perspective. Like, this game does have analog control support, but analog sticks weren't a thing that every PlayStation had. Like, originally, the PlayStation 1 did not come with a DualShock controller. It came with the regular controller that did not have analog sticks or a rumble feature. This was added after the N64 came out to combat it. They added in the DualShock, which is a really cool thing that nobody really understood why you would need or want or have it. So because of this, not like games didn't require you to use it because not everybody who owned the system had a controller that could work it with. So there's like a button on it. It has like an analog on and off, which switches your D-pad to being the actual analog stick. Which
I think I remember that. I think I remember that. The analog button for... Yeah. Wait, were you saying PS2?
PS1 and PS2 both have the same analog button.
Yeah.
Because the PlayStation 2 is backwards compatible with PS1, so they had to keep it in for that reason, even though the analog stick could be on... Like, it was... Every PlayStation 2 came with a DualShock 2, which also was a really cool controller and had one of the features that they've removed since, which I liked but nobody ever took advantage of, which was the digital buttons. Now, I'm going to say this. People are going to be like, what the hell's a digital button? Aren't all buttons digital? Yes, well, the buttons are on and off, so technically digital. They called them digital buttons because they had a pressure sensitivity. And only the only games I can think of that used it were Metal Gear Solid 2, 3, Gran Turismo 3, and 4.
And the bouncer.
And the bouncer. So basically, they could tell at what level you were pressing down the button, which was really cool. And I always thought that they would keep that in for the DualShock 3 or the 6-axis or, you know, the PlayStation 3's controller. But as far as I know, they completely removed it because nobody took advantage of it. So I guess playing Metal Gear Solid isn't the same. That Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 are probably not the same experience outside of a PlayStation 2, because they really took advantage of like how you holster your gun and like how you could hold people up with that.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, it was really awesome.
I did a run once where I was trying to get, because you remember if you go up from behind and hold them up,
beating the shit out of you.
Yeah, I know. Basically, getting them dead.
It's got like the,
but like you could like hold them up and then you get their dog tag, right? And try to do a run on hard mode, I think, because like, oh, okay, well, no, I remember. You got different dog tags for the different difficulties.
Yeah.
And if you got all of them, then you got something. Can you use this twice? No.
I think so, yeah.
But it was like, the only thing I got bored when I got to the tanker, basically, when I started playing as Raiden. Not because I just got bored of the game, but not because I don't like Raiden, but because I started getting bored of the game. But on the tanker, something was flying in front of my face, like a hair. No, a little piece of like cat hair or something just went like right, like so close that it was way out of focus, so it made it look like huge.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, right. Got all the tags for all the difficulties from every soldier on the tanker. Not that I'm bragging or anything.
I don't think it's that difficult to do, it's not really a brag. It's just kind of something to do in the game.
Yeah.
It was like
well, actually, it was kind of hard on hard because the enemies have like gigantic, massive, like sight ranges. They get
Yeah, like I'm just Xbox. Like, okay, let's take a little bit of a tangent here. Oh, actually, I don't have time to talk about this yet. I'll talk about this on next episode. But a lot of things changed with like the 7th gen consoles. A lot of things. There was finally this introduction. Like at that point, like 7th gen meant we had a lot of standards available, and like we weren't experimenting with 3D games anymore. Like, I mean, there was 2 generations to do that, so everything kind of went in a certain direction, which was good and bad. Like, we lost a lot of the weird games. Like, PlayStation 1 and 2 have some really odd titles in their libraries, which is fantastic, because I don't know if we'll ever see a game like this ever again. I don't know if we're going to see this style of controlled game that is both RPG and semi, you know, survival horror. I mean, they called it that. I really don't see much horror in this game other than this is a little bit wacky, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's survival science fiction. But next time we'll talk about 7th gen consoles and how they changed some other things. And I bet you guys never expected to hear this out of us today. So have a great day. Enjoy your life. We love you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Alright, find a conversation to talk about.
Check Discord. I had my whole body waxed one time. And then I did, because I don't like body hair. I'm not even hairy, really.
No,
like,
Andy is not a hairy individual.
I kind of have hairy legs, which is weird, but like nothing else is hairy.
I need to know who's got hairier legs. Let's find out.
I totally do.
Well, you know what?
I think it's just because mine's darker.
I don't know that you have hairier legs. Yeah, you have darker. But also, like, my legs are larger, so I mean, the hair's a little bit more spread apart.
Alright. Actually, I should leave that up. It was nice and cool, but I don't want to.
But I want to watch your legs.
But anyway, that was super painful. So when I say whole body, I mean like I got Brazilian too.